Welcome. In this video, Chapter 5 of Arknights will be summarized. Throughout the video, there will be spoilers for the story of Arknights. If you don't want to be spoiled, please go and play the game. Chen is having a nightmare. A voice tells her the adults won't be able to bully them anymore, and the voice will be there to help her no matter what happens, that they'll always be together. A different voice asks Wei if he still remembers when someone snatched a girl away, if he can do whatever it takes to save Lungmen, and what will Wei sacrifice this time. Swire wakes Chen up by splashing water on her face. Chen is confused and asks where her squad and Hoshi is, with Swire teasing Chen by asking what would she do if she told her that they were killed in action. Hoshi returns and tells Swire to be less sarcastic towards Chen. Chen asks where she is. Hoshi explains that she's in a cabin in RI, with Swire telling her that she and her team retreated to Lungmen 45 minutes ago, but didn't hide their tracks well as Reunion followed them. Swire explains that she teamed up with RI to clear out Reunion forces that were blocking her as well, with Chen's squad being fine, but when things settled down, Chen took a blast to the head and got knocked out. Chen asks for a sitrep on Lungmen. Swire says that it's a mess currently. Regardless of what happened before, the counterattack was set back because of Chen, with the Special Ops Division assembling the remainder of her squad, then joining up with RI. The plan is to fight to the heart of the city, destroy all Reunion's rally points, then seize the opportunity when Reunion is still trying to establish a foothold. However, they'll be forcing their remnants to converge faster, and there's no guarantee that the friendly forces will be able to hold them off until the LGD is reassembled. Swire then tells Chen that it's her fault that the LGD HQ fell, and Reunion took over the HQ. Swire says that Chen should be ashamed of herself and suggests that she should resign immediately to let Swire take over the Special Ops Division. Chen tells Swire that she's not authorized to make such a demand, even setting aside the bad blood between the two. Chen believes that Swire isn't even capable of taking on the responsibility, before telling Swire to run along and find something else to do. Swire tells Hoshi to keep Chen on a leash. Hoshi apologizes for Chen's behavior, as Chen did appreciate her assistance, but Swire doesn't care and wants to see Chen bleed. An RI op asks to come in to see if Chen is available to talk about the mission, as they're ready to start any time, with Chen saying that she'll get ready. Later, Hoshi says that Chen and Swire are too hot-headed, with her then suggesting vacation. Chen agrees that she really needs a long one. Chen receives a call on a secret channel, with Hoshi seeing herself out temporarily. Someone codenamed XR02 says that Reunion are everywhere, and that they're located in Mukwo warehouse after being hit by several arrows. Chen tells them not to move, as the LGD will come and rescue them. The call is suddenly cut off when XR02 sees something moving. Chen gathers her squad and asks the RI op from earlier how the remaining op force is doing. RI believes that the situation is worse in Lungmen than in RI, as Reunion have been defeated several times while trying to invade. Chen asks for RI's help to make an opening in the main road leading to the docks. The op says that they'll do their best. The RI op never expected Reunion to be so weak, considering what they did to Chernobog. Chen tells the op that Reunion's greatest strength is to do something unexpected. The op asks about where the RI expedition that went to the sub-city is, with Chen explaining that they were separated from Amiya and the doctor and had to leave due to an emergency. The op isn't surprised due to the politics of the infected in Lungmen, saying that they won't help her because of her actions, and reminds Chen not to hit her allies by accident even if they're infected. Hoshi asks why Chen did that, with Chen saying that she had no intentions of doing it. Chen continues with saying that there's too many unknown variables, the terrain makes it difficult to fight, and there's no way to gauge Reunion's op capacity. Hoshi isn't convinced, but orders are orders and she'll obey them. Chen says that until conditions are met, the specifics are top secret and that it's all necessary. Chen calls Swire, telling her that she can begin. Swire asks why Chen isn't getting help from RI. Chen responds by saying that they'll just add another unknown factor. After she hangs up, Chen and Hoshi head to Mukwo warehouse to find XR02. After scouting the warehouse, Hoshi finds that nobody is around it. Chen spots that materials have been dragged around at a construction site, believes that Reunion set up an ambush there. Hoshi asks if a friend of hers, Fal, is the informant, to which Chen confirms that it is. Hoshi says she'll draw Reunion's fire, with the rest of the LGD seizing the opportunity to surround them and end the battle quickly. Hoshi flushes the Reunion members out of their hiding spots in 3 minutes. Hoshi plows through the Reunion members, destroying Reunion in 2.5 minutes. Hoshi asks the Reunion members if the warehouse is rigged with explosives, which it isn't, and finds the informant after Hoshi rams through the door. Chen tries to stop his bleeding, but the informant tells her to stop, handing her the information that they have. Reunion's infiltration was not sent to other leaders, just one party. The informant asks for one last favor, to not let the stuck-up plutocrats insult her because of her background. The informant asks Hoshi, who arrived a little later, if he did a good job. Hoshi says that you can't call it a good job until he survives to see things through. Hoshi takes the informant, supporting him with her shoulder, and helps him out of the warehouse to safety. Hoshi and Chen continue their encirclement of the Reunion members, with Hoshi noticing them building something around the entire block. Chen says that it's one of the central hubs that connects Reunion's various bases, and if they destroy the comms facilities, they can cripple the forces in the area and put them one step closer to recapturing the LGD HQ. Chen also mentions that Reunion are looking for an HVT, and it's necessary to determine their actions first. Hoshi asks what they're doing in the wealthy districts, with Chen agreeing as all of the buildings have been evacuated. Hoshi notices some Reunion members about to break a door down, with Chen telling LGD snipers to take down the radio operator. All of the Reunion members have been captured, but Chen is absorbed in the thought as she recognizes the area due to growing up there when she was younger. The estate belonged to her biological father's clan, but has since been renovated. Chen breaks the door down and enters the home. Chen remembers the different rules her father told her while in the house, with Hoshi noticing a photo of Chen and another child. A voice in Chen's mind says, "You shall receive no love from me, not in the slightest. Sorry, I'm sorry, but I can't stand you. Just seeing you makes me want to peel the skin off my arms. I cannot tolerate any of you. I'm too selfish. I can't live like this anymore. One day, all of you will understand. If you hate me, so be it, because I hate you too, and that's how it should be." She asked the photo, which she thought had been lost, if they lost their marbles as well. Why here? Why now? Hoshi asks if she's ready to go, or if Chen wants to play a bit longer. Chen leaves, saying that they need to drive Reunion out of the area. Elsewhere, a Reunion caster feels as if something isn't right, as Lungmen feels empty compared to Chernobog, as well as everything being taken. A member says that someone named Patriot prohibited looting, but that's not the point the caster is trying to make. Their point is that someone hid everything from them. The location they're in, Pachi Plaza, is the closest to the LGD HQ and an easy resupply point. The caster also mentions that all Reunion forces are to gather at the LGD HQ, then spread out to take over Lungmen, but some of the squad sent out disappeared without a trace, but their comms are still connected, though there's no response. A voice says that they soon won't be able to contact anyone, as Hoshi and a squad of LGD officers break through a window and ambush the Reunion members. Chen radios Swire to pulverize Reunion in their bunkers, with Swire saying that Pachi Plaza is her property before being hung up on. LGD continues their attack, with Reunion destroying a 1.8 million LMD piano in the fight. The LGD finish off the rest of Reunion members in the area, with an LGD agent telling Chen that the level 3 floor plan of East Pachi Plaza was modified by Reunion. Chen tells them to find the best route to cross the blockade. Suddenly, a Reunion caster who survived the ambush set off explosives on the 3rd floor right where Chen and Hoshi are standing. Chen falls through the hole made in the floor. Chen wakes up after being knocked unconscious, as Hoshi saved her from the fall and shielded her from the rubble. Hoshi pushes the rubble out of the way, with Reunion being surprised that they survived the explosion. Chen dispatches the soldier who noticed them. Chen says she'll take all of Reunion on. Hoshi tells her it's not good to fight on her own, but Chen doesn't want to have her injured friend fight more. Chen then tells Hoshi that she's not just Inspector Hoshiguma, but also her friend and partner, so let her be the shield this time after Hoshi has protected her so many times. Hoshi leaves it to her. Chen gets some medics for Hoshi, with Hoshi telling her to be more careful out there and to not let Chen's thoughts consume her, as she becomes obsessed with something and neglects other possibilities. Chen gets a radio from an LGD agent saying that Reunion has passed the Causeway Bell, is assembling at Ahawan, and that all Reunion forces in Front Bay and Scorpio Place have been annihilated. She then receives a call from Swire, who complains to her about what happened at Pachi Plaza, with the two of them going back and forth on how to pay off the damages. Chen promises to pick Swire up a burger after all the fighting is done. Later, Chen assembles the top agents in the LGD to retake the HQ from Reunion. and leads the charge into the building. After fighting through the Reunion forces are making their way inside the LGD HQ, an agent speaks up about how the Reunion forces outside fought as if they were sleepwalking, as well as their equipment being damaged to the point of unusability. Chen agrees, but the enemy doesn't know that they're there, so they just have to follow the plan and reach the command center at the rooftop, with it possibly being a trap. But the taking of the rooftop will be like a signal beacon, with Reunion witnessing the LGD HQ return to their hands. The building doesn't feel right, as it's mostly empty, with a member hearing and seeing things, but not finding anything in the end. Chen and the LGD agents take the fire escape up to the roof. While going up, a voice says that Chen fell into their trap. Mephisto reveals himself, saying that his comrades will devour Chen and her agents. Chen defeats Mephisto's peon single-handedly, but Mephisto still has a trick up his sleeve and calls on Faust to give her a shakedown, with Faust and the snipers firing down upon Chen and the LGD. Chen recognizes Faust as the LGD arrested him before, with Mephisto saying that Faust missed on purpose to be nice. Turns out, Faust was not rescued by Reunion, but infected by LGD moles. Mephisto realizes that his squad had been crushed and that he's the only one left. Or is that what Chen wanted to hear? Mephisto raises his soldiers with bits of originum in their bodies glowing. He then spreads his powder on the soldiers, which he claims to have healing properties. Mephisto says that his herd will never fall as he's taken away their pain. The LGD agents fight fruitlessly against the horde, with the possessed soldiers blocking and healing all the shots and slashes. Faust fires at Chen as she charges Mephisto, but Chen blocks it. Mephisto notices his powder sticking to her, with Chen saying that they must pay for their sins. Chen has a flashback to her and Wei, with Wei handing her a weapon, a dragon-slaying sword, that shall only be unsheathed against a worthy enemy. Chen calls upon Ji Zhao to drink the blood of her enemies. Mephisto and Chen have a back and forth, with Chen saying that no one will remember Mephisto after he dies, as his confidence was built on the fall of Chernobog, and the mighty Lungmen will not fall into his hands. Faust fires at Chen as Mephisto's guard attacks, with Chen deflecting both the attacks with arts. Mephisto is surprised by this display, with Faust telling him to back off. Chen was almost able to reach Mephisto with the attack, with more snipers firing at her in the distance. Chen continues blocking the shots with her arts, with Mephisto saying that his arts only work on the infected, and that he knows what Chen is. Chen unsheaths Ji Zhao as Faust attacks her, but Chen loses control of Ji Zhao, with Chen getting caught in an explosion of an explosive tip bolt. It's just like their leader said, it's not that Chen doesn't want to kill Mephisto, it's that she can't unsheath her sword. The sword isn't meant to be used against someone like Mephisto, she already knows Chen's weakness. Mephisto vows to destroy the world as it is, and by cutting away from the cities, they will soon be born anew. Chen makes her way through the herd, slowly inching towards Mephisto, as Mephisto taunts saying that Chen should unite with his leader, or die a painful death. Faust is about to fire another volley of bolts, but is interrupted by a helicopter, and someone jumping from it. Blaze jumps down, with Mephisto noticing black lines. Why are Mephisto's guards screaming as if they're grieving, as his art should have wiped their emotions? It's the rabbit of Rhodes Island. Faust fires another volley, but the bolts are diverted by the wind. Blaze cuts open the roof with her chainsaw, causing it to collapse. Amiya and Blaze arrive next to Chen, saying that they're there to support now. A few minutes earlier, the Doctor, Amiya, and Blaze are ready for their debut. The three jump in and assist Chen with her situation. Mephisto asks what they're doing here, then asks what Frost Nova is doing as they were supposed to freeze to death in Chernobog. Amiya says that she can't die yet as long as Oropathy plagues Terra. Mephisto asks Amiya to kill him, but Amiya doesn't indulge as he's not the enemy. She only wishes to destroy Mephisto's hatred and malice, and not everyone in Reunion is a psychopath like him. Blaze and Amiya launch a counterattack to retake the LGD HQ. The fighting continues, with Blaze blocking Mephisto's shots as she's already figured out where they're coming from in advance. Blaze warns Amiya that she's going to use that, and cuts her arm with her blood catching fire. Faust and his snipers retreat. Amiya tells Mephisto that even Faust may not side with him anymore, as his thoughts are filled with sorrow and turmoil. Faust asks Amiya if he can read his mind, which he can't, and fires several shots at Amiya, with Blaze barely managing to block them all. Faust tries to convince Mephisto to retreat, but Mephisto resists a bit before giving in. Blaze and Chen manage to strike down some of Mephisto's guards, with one thanking Chen for putting them out of their misery. Chen goes to stab Mephisto, but he's pushed out of the way by Faust, with him being stabbed in Mephisto's stead. Faust shoots Chen point blank with an explosive bolt to cover their escape, with more explosions happening afterwards to demolish the top level of the LGD HQ. Mephisto thinks there's a Molerin reunion, but Faust tells him to keep running. The LGD HQ is now nothing more than a pile of rubble, or at least the top floors are. Chen asks how Amiya made it back, with them explaining that Swire rescued them from the abandoned city. An agent tells Chen that she has a call on a private line, with Swire on it as well, with Wei receiving reports from Swire that she rescued RI, and Chen saying that she took back the HQ. Wei tells them both to move on to the next phase. Wei then talks to Amiya in the Doctor over the phone, saying that every city in Terra is deep within a net of conspiracies and intrigue, but he can't disclose his intel. The Doctor says that Wei used them all as bait at the most crucial moment, when Reunion was most vulnerable. RI was made to draw their attention and fooled them into thinking Lungman was undefended. Blaze concurs with the Doctor, then asking Wei how long he hid Lungman's power. Wei says that Lungman kept them safe and helped him into a position that could maximize RI's value. Blaze counters that by saying that he left Amiya to die in the middle of many enemies. What is this position he's talking about? Amiya says under her breath that they don't have any proof that he did, with Wei saying that they don't have a choice in the matter, but at least they can choose how to eliminate their enemies. The Doctor doesn't agree with what Wei says, but Wei can easily defend his points, and then tells of an incoming Reunion counterattack and hangs up. Elsewhere, Wei and Swire chat about the current situation, with Wei giving Swire one day and night to contain Reunion. Chen is also there and asks why Tallulah hasn't appeared on Lungman if it's supposed to be Reunion's all-out attack. Fumizuki, the wife of Wei, says that she can't get a hold of someone named Speaker Wit, and that the Ursus Empire is being unclear. There's something much bigger that's brewing. That's something that Fumi hasn't heard in years. Fumi said that, 20 years ago, if they lost, this city would be under a different name and would just be another stepping stone on the path to the Ursus homogeny, and would be under someone else's control. His control. The control of Duke Kashche. Fumi asks Wei if they remind Tallulah of him. Wei responds by saying that he's already dead. Killed by Tallulah herself. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates and check out my other Azure Lane and Arknights videos as well.